Pokémon TM. By now, I'm sure you all know about it. It's like a pretty big thing, but soon we're going to be receiving some pretty big news about ZA. In fact, in less than 24 hours, which is why I need to get this video out. And amongst such news is probably going to be some new Mega Evolutions for the new game. And I wanted to have a go at making my own. Some speculative, some not so much. Like, I don't care if everyone wants Mega Flygon. I want to see Mega Dunsparce with 4 segments. A couple of quick disclaimers. I am using very limited technology here, so if there's a watermark or if the audio is bad, sorry, trying my best here. But let's get into the video. First up is Poliwrath, and I actually got told, like, why don't you do this? It could be fun, by someone, I can't remember who. But it was very fun. I found it very fun trying to come up with a design for a Pokemon that I've never really engaged with. You can see originally here I wanted to have, like, frog spawn in the spiral and it would like be able to shoot them out, but no matter how much I try a different way of doing it later, but it just doesn't work. So maybe at some point I'll do a Politoed counterpart Mega. Let me know in the comments below. I am going into hibernation after ZA news, but I will check eventually, don't worry. I would like to redo the rendering at some point and maybe also the line art, but I did think it turned out pretty well, especially the rendering on the water cape, which you'll see towards the end. I think it turned out perfectly. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it in general. When holding the Poliwrathite, Poliwrath will Mega Evolve into Mega Poliwrath, the Tadpole Pokemon, a water and fighting type. This Pokemon has been seen as a shadowy figure in the night, protecting weaker innocent Pokemon from threats. The force of its punches have been powered up by the explosive bubble dusters on its knuckles. So with Mega Poliwrath, I wanted it to kind of be like the Batman of the Pokemon world, so I wanted its ability to reflect that. So its new signature ability, Nighttime Assailant, doubles the power of attacks against sleeping Pokemon, and that sounded quite broken. So the stat distribution for the Mega is kind of like weird. It doesn't really increase anything by a whole lot. So with the ability, it could be quite broken, but I don't know. It could be either way. The shiny, I just wanted it to be like a nicer green than what Poliwrath already has, and that mask I just wanted to invert, and I think, yeah, I really like the water cape. It's sad I couldn't introduce that frog spawn aspect that I wanted to, but you can't have everything. And staying on the theme of Gen 1 fighting types, let's start with the second Mega Evolution of the video. Okay, next up is Machamp, and I quite like Machamp as a Pokemon, but having said that, I do have some slight design issues. I wanted to make the clothing more natural, because I don't think it's supernatural in the original design, and also I don't like its lips, so I wanted to change that up as well. It's already grey, so I decided to make it a rock type, and it's got flaming fists, blue flaming fists. And yeah, the rendering, it took me a while on this one, and also the colours change a bit around, like the orange parts will become red in the final design. I will say, I did this a while ago, and if I would change anything, I wouldn't make it as shiny, but I think in terms of being a Mega, this is the best one. When holding a Machampite, Machamp will Mega Evolve into Mega Machamp, the superpower Pokemon. A fighting and rock type. Machamp's muscles and hide have become as dense as stone. Mega Evolution has greatly increased its fighting spirit, causing its wrists and eyes to be engulfed in aura. Mega Machamp, I essentially just wanted to make it look more visually appealing to me. I didn't want to have the bits that I don't like, which is why I got rid of the fish lips and just made him look more like a beak, I guess. And I just wanted to make it look like it had the same sort of aura as Lucario, just around its fists. In terms of the stats, I just wanted to make it more Machamp. So I went and increased its attack to even higher levels, and it's very physically bulky because of its massive defense, but it's not too difficult to remove with your own Mega if it's a special attacker. I didn't want to get rid of No Guard because that's kind of like what Machamp is known for. If you're using a Machamp, you're running it with No Guard and Dynamic Punch. So just wanted to keep that aspect of it. Now let's get a little more speculative with our third Mega Evolution. Okay, so next up on our list is Ceruledge, and I actually think this could happen, honestly. in ZA, mainly due to some etymology and potential design inspirations. I think Ceruledge is partially inspired by the Black Knight, which comes from that general area, that myth, and also Armarouge, who, spoiler alert, is up next, has Rouge in its name, which is the French for red. So I wanted to tie it into another Pokemon, so I chose Darkrai because it gives me an easy duet with Armarouge. So I gave it like the same sort of neck spikes, and also like a fleur-de-lis sword shape, which is the symbol of the French royal family. With the colour scheme, it's not too dissimilar to Ceruledge, just a little more saturated on the swords and just in general. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. When holding the Cerulite, Ceruledge will Mega Evolve into Mega Ceruledge, the Fire Blades Pokemon, a fire and ghost type. Upon Mega Evolution, Ceruledge became a servant of Darkrai. Its flames have been imbued with a ghostly nightmare energy, and anyone hit by its blades are tormented with nightmares for hours. I personally think this one came out pretty well. It gets a lot taller now. It's about 6 feet tall, when before it was about 5'3". It doesn't get much heavier. I think most of its height comes from its boots getting longer. I gave it a slightly different colour dye because I wanted the colour scheme to have some variation, because otherwise it's just a little more saturated. I think the shiny turned out really well. I just wanted to get rid of that god-awful change the eye colour shiny. But yeah, it gets sharpness now because I just wanted it to hit really hard. It didn't get much attack, so I wanted it to have another way of dealing extra damage. And yeah, I think it just turned out decently well. Time for our final Mega Evolution of the video. Let's move on to Armarouge. So this one gave me a bit of trouble. I definitely struggled with the pose, and also I really struggled making it look different enough from base Armarouge. As you can see in the first design here, there's not really much to say, other than it's got that Cresselia sort of like shape on its head. That's really the most that changed. On the second version, again, I didn't change much, but it is a Mega at the end of the day. The Flaming Fist was just a cool touch, I feel like. And I'm really happy with the rendering on this one. I did Ceruledge and Armarouge a decent while after the first two, so I'm just really happy with it. I eventually made the flames pink so that I could differentiate a bit more and also link it closer to Ceruledge. And I'm just really happy with the way it turned out, to be honest. When holding the Armarougite, Armarouge Mega evolves into Mega Armarouge, the Fire Warrior Pokemon, a fire and psychic type. Upon Mega Evolution, Armarouge has become a servant of Cresselia, its flames becoming imbued with psychic dream energy. Anyone hit with such dream energy is knocked out and will dream for many hours. As I've already said, Mega Armarouge is my favourite rendered one in the whole video. I'm really happy with how it came out. I didn't really do much in terms of making it more French, as I said I did with Ceruledge. It gets a bit taller, it gets a lot heavier though. It gets a lot more armour on the shoulders and it just ends up being a lot heavier. The design on it actually got a little bit less intricate on the bottom there, like at the bottom of its like breastplate. But yeah, the shiny, it's a lot darker than with Ceruledge's, and I'm just honestly really happy with how it turned out. It gets battle armour because I wanted to make Ceruledge more offensive and Armarouge more defensive, but I'm just really happy with how it turned out. I've said it so many times, I'm really happy with this one. This is the best of the video in my opinion. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you had as much fun looking at these designs as I had creating them. Again, sorry about any audio issues. This is my first video, proper video anyway, and I don't have the best equipment. I'm trying my best over here. I just hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you next time.